What up guys, SuperMetal983 here bringing us another updates and purchases, and this is number 37, and this one, quite frankly, is not as extensive as what it usually is on this channel. I know it's usually like 4 giant stacks of CDs, like a massive pile of t-shirts and stuff like that, but it's not as big as what it usually is, and that's kind of good, because that's what I'm kind of trying to aim for this year, because I know I did it quite a bit last year with like big updates and stuff like that, but don't worry, that's not the case this time. It'll probably still take the amount of time, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, but yeah, usual things for the updates and purchases out of the way first, the kind of updates and shout-outs. First off, the shout-outs, I'm going to give the first one to a YouTuber who's pretty well known, Cottrell. If you don't know who he is, he's a guitar player on YouTube. He does his own stuff like original composition stuff, and he also does like recording like tutorials and guitar related videos. Like recently he done one of an 8-string versus a pitch shifter, which one sounds better, and recently he's been doing what's it called, one riff, and I think it's 10 bands or 20 bands, I'm not sure. So he basically plays one riff or the same riff in a certain style, and it's very interesting to watch. I've been watching his channel a lot lately, so make sure you check out his channel. He's got like 120,000 subscribers, like more than that obviously, just slightly more, so make sure you check out his channel. Awesome dude. And the next one is a guy I didn't realise was on YouTube, and I feel really bad for it, and I told him I felt bad, so I told him I was going to give it a shout out, and that's your buddy Tom Collings, formerly of Repulsive, of the band Repulsive, a death metal band from the UK. If you haven't checked them out before, link down below. The guys have sadly called it a day, but make sure you check out their EP, it was sick as fuck. But he does bass covers primarily on YouTube, but he also does album reviews, vinyl collection videos, and other related vlogs relating to metal, kind of similar along the lines of mine, except for the bass covers. But that will happen one day, I promise. But anyway, if you haven't checked out his channel, link down below. He's an awesome dude, and once again, mate, sorry for leaving it so late. Anyways, so we've got a couple more things to update you on. First off, I got a new tattoo, which I'm going to showcase to you right now, which is this one. I got a tattoo of Korn's Follow the Leader artwork. Really happy with it. Obviously, as me or may not know, Korn was the first metal band that I obviously heard, and over the years, I still hold a soft spot for them. I love all their albums. There's never been a bad album, in my personal opinion. Even the dubstep one, I still love personally. But yeah, I wanted to get a tattoo of them because they obviously introduced me, and Follow the Leader is still one of my favourite albums by them, and always loved the artwork, and Freak on a Leash is an absolute jam still, so I decided to get that one, and I'm really happy with it. Obviously, down here there would be the boy's head, so we'll cut it off and just straighten it all up. I'm really happy with it. Obviously this is going to be a band related arm. Obviously we've got Slipknot, Drowning Pool, and Korn on there, but I've got a few ideas for more tattoos over the coming months, so updates and purchases may come into a tattoo showcase kind of video. I think eventually I will do a tattoo kind of video just to showcase all of them together, you know, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. But yeah, really happy with that. I got it done by Pixie at Studio 23 here in Sunderland. Awesome dude. If you're in the Sunderland area or the United Kingdom in any way, make sure you check out his work. He's absolutely awesome. I'll leave a link down below to his Instagram. I don't know if he's got a Facebook, but I'll leave a link to his Instagram as he posts on there quite regularly. Anyway, I think that... Oh, and also people may have noticed straight away. Has he had a haircut again? Or people may not care. But anyway, yeah, I decided to lop it all off again because I was getting sick of the long hair again, and with us not playing like gigs as much nowadays and going to work and tying it up, I got sick of it, so I thought, you know what, I'll just get a normal sort of haircut, and then I can just wash a bit of soap and just leave it, or style it, or whatever. Just something simple, you know, and I quite like it. It's dope. Yeah, I'm probably just going to get backlash for that, but what can you do? But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and maybe one day when Erebor goes back to gigging and stuff, I might grow it out again, but for now, I quite like it. Anyway, now we're going to move on to the purchases. I've got a couple of DVDs first off. This first one, I got it on payday. I was so happy that I finally owned it. And that is Dimmu and the Norwegian Radio Orchestra and Choir, Forces of the Northern Night DVD. I wanted to pick up the CD at some point, because obviously I've watched this DVD. I've watched the Live in Oslo disc. I haven't watched the Wyattxhim one yet, and I haven't watched the documentation either. I'm pretty slow with this one at the moment, but I'm really, really happy to own it, and the Oslo performance is amazing. I might as well add, yes, I've heard the first single. I haven't heard the second single, but I am really looking forward to the new Dimmu album. But yeah, this is an amazing, amazing DVD. I was hoping when they announced it was happening, I was like, please bring it out on DVD. So yeah, it comes in a book kind of edition with the 2 documentaries on it there. A book with photos and obviously credits to all the people who were involved in the orchestra and choir. And then 2 performances on there. That's the Oslo one and that's the Wyattxhim one. Yeah, both of them. I'm really looking forward to watching the Wyattxhim one, but I've heard it's meant to be really good. But I just had to watch the Oslo one, you know, headlining with that massive arena. Can't go wrong with that. And then when I went to the till, it was meant to be $17.99, but when I went through, it was going as $14.99. So I was like, oh, looking right. And the guy said, oh, is there any of these you want for $2.99? And I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I might as well get this. I got Passages. This is a movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence in. Excellent, excellent film. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. Yeah, good film. Moving on, we've got some merch to showcase. When I went to see Carnifex with Disentomb, Aversion's Crown and Oceano, I decided to pick up some merch there. There wasn't an awful lot of merch there, but I decided to pick up this beanie because I've been after a new beanie for a while of Disentomb, because they've really impressed me, really tight and very heavy. So yeah, I picked this up. I do want to pick up their CD Misery at some point, but they didn't have it at the table because I would have got it and got it signed, but oh well, what can you do? Anyways, next up, I went to see King 810 at the O2 Academy. Absolutely amazing performance. So I decided to get a shirt of them, as I've been after a shirt for a while. So I picked up this one, King at the bottom, and then the artwork. Kind of reminds us of, what's the company? Blackcraft Cult kind of design. That's what it reminds us of, so I'm really happy with it. And King absolutely tore it down. Very energetic performance from them. Alright, next up we have, I didn't get this at the gig, but I bought it like not too long after my last updates and purchases, and that is Oceano's Revelation artwork shirt. I might have showcased this before, I can't remember, and if I have, oh well, but here it is again. Really happy with this album. It was in my top albums of 2017, so make sure you check out my top albums video, link down below. And while I was on my way to the Carnifex gig, I was stuck in snow and on the coach for like 7 hours when it was meant to only take like 3.5, so I was quite bored. And while I was on Signs of the Swarm, well-known deathcore band in America, awesome stuff, check them out. They put up restocks of their album artwork shirt for their new album, and I was like, oh, I need to get it. So I went ahead and ordered it, and when I got back, it literally came like a couple of days later, and I was like, from America, that is absolutely insane. So I was really happy with it. So I got Signs of the Swarms, what's the album called? The Disfigurement of Existence. Yeah, really happy with this shirt, and I have to say, I absolutely love their logo. I love the design on that. But anyway, I've ordered the CD. It hasn't come yet, but hopefully I'll be able to showcase it in the next updates and purchases, because it is a monstrous album. I just wish I gave it more time and attention in 2017. So yeah, that's the merch. And now on to the CDs. So anyway, this first lot I got through Rotten Music. If you're from the UK, you might have heard of them. They're a kind of brutal death metal kind of label distro. And I went ahead and ordered quite a few CDs from them. So we're going to dissect them a little bit here. I was going to do an unboxing video, but it didn't turn out so well. So here it is in updates and purchases. First off, we got Carnivorous Veracity, The Impious Doctrine. Really sick, kind of technical brutal death metal. Make sure you check these guys out. Excellent, excellent stuff. They might appear in the Super Metal recommendations. We'll see. Next up, Dragging Entrails with Penetrating Her Syphilitic Cadaver. Yeah, gory artwork, slamming hell. I absolutely love that album. It's, in my opinion, it features members of Cranium in it, and in my opinion, it's better than Cranium. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, next up, we have Intracranial Parasite with Deviations Period of Inhumane. Yeah, love this album when it first came out, and quite frankly, it still kills to this day. Reissued artwork, which I think I prefer. I'm starting to grow on it a little bit, but yeah, excellent, excellent stuff. Heavy. If you like your slamming stuff, you'll definitely like that. Next up, we've got some UK kind of brutal death metal straight up, and this is Castrated with Surge of Festering Spasticity. Yeah, this one. These guys, they've been around quite a while, and they only just released their debut album, which is this one, in 2016. It was incredible, in my opinion. I just wish I gave it a bit more attention. It's incredible. Heavy, gritty, and just, festering. Absolutely festering. Love it. Next up, been after this one for a while, one of my favourite brutal death metal albums, Putrefile with Blood Fetish. Catchy, simplistic, and just class. Absolutely love this album. Really happy to own this finally. Yeah, I only need a couple more of their CDs and I've got their discography. Next up, we have Unfathomable Ruination with Misshapen Congenital Entropy. It's a bit of a tongue twister there, but this one, yeah, now I've got all their albums. I definitely need to give this one a spin at some point soon, because I can't remember what it sounds like, but if it's anything like the last album, I think it's Servitude. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah, this album, can't wait to listen to it again. Next up, I believe this is Aussie, brutal death metal kind of version on deathcore. This is Autopsy with They Did Unspeakable Things. Yeah, I discovered these years ago and been a fan ever since. Haven't picked up any of the CDs yet, but this one is, I'm so happy to have in my collection. Really sick shit. Love it. Next up, this may appear in a Super Metal recommendations at one point because it blew us away when I first heard it, but this is Xenomorphic Contamination Colonized from the Inside. Yeah, this album just rips it. It's just, if you're a fan of Catalepsy, you'll find something to like about these guys. Heavy, just groovy, brutal death metal. Love it. And finally, the one that I ordered from Rotten Music was the Cranium and Analepsy split, the Cranalepsy split, which is this one. I'm going to focus. But yeah, really happy to have this one. This one, in my opinion, both bands, Cranium and Analepsy, I'm not massive fans of their full lengths, in all honesty. They're good, they're just not amazing to me. But this, both sides rip like fuck on this. Yeah, and I guess I'm starting to warm up a bit to Analepsy. I wasn't too massively keen on them at first, but yeah, really happy to this. And I'll be seeing them at Fall on the Ball 3 when that comes about in November. Really looking forward to that. Don't know who the headliners are going to be though, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, next up, we have the other CDs that I've been picking up, so let's get right on into it. First one, All Shall Perish, The Price of Existence. I only need their debut album now, and I've got their entire studio discography. Just check the song, Weird Slaves. Absolute monster. One of my favourite deathcore songs in general. Next up, Amorphous with Under the Red Cloud, Tour Edition. Warming up to this album a bit more, and I can't wait for the new album, but yeah, this is great album. Next up, APOPHYS with Prime Incursion, their debut album under Metalware Records. Excellent tech death. Their new album, Devoratis. Yeah, I've done a review of this, link down below, check it out. One of the best, well, probably the best death metal release of 2018 so far. And I bought it from their vocalist, Kevin Quilligan, I believe that's his name, Kevin Quilligan. Yeah, I bought it directly from him, and he hooked us up with a promo from 2013 as well, in a slipcase. Yeah, with some, yeah, You can't see it very well, but there's some disc print on there as well. But yeah, really happy to have this. Thanks. If he ends up watching this, thanks Kevin for this. Really, really appreciate it. Next up, classic deathcore, or UK deathcore, The Argent Dawn with a Blank Entity. Yeah, been after this album for many, many years. So glad to finally have it. Just essential, old school MySpace deathcore, if you ask me. Next up, done a review of this one also. Armortura with the self-titled album. Link down below. Excellent, thrashy, power metal-y kind of stuff. Next up, new Autopsy EP, Puncturing the Grotesque. Really happy with this one. Yeah, Autopsy. What more can you do? I hope they bring out a full length again, because I'm dying for some new full length Autopsy. Next up, another Behemoth album. This is Grom. This is, I believe, their second album. Love the spot gloss on there. Really happy with this one. I haven't listened to it in a while actually, so I might have to give that one a spin. Next up, this will be appearing in the Super Metal recommendations. Black Crown Initiate with the Wreckage of Stars. Really happy to own this one. I'll have more to see in Super Metal recommendations. Next up, Cane Hill, Too Far Gone. Yeah, I saw these guys with Motionless in White, picked up the new album. Next up, this was in my Super Metal recommendations honourable mentions video. Clandestine Blaze with City of Slaughter. Excellent black metal if you're a fan of Dark Throne or Burzum. Next up, Dark Space with Dark Space 4. Yeah, simple artwork, simple everything. Slipcase. I believe it's black disc. This album, it's very experimentative, but still absolutely amazing and very unique sound. It kind of reminds us, in a sense, of Anal on the Thrack, mixing it with other black metal bands. It's really weird, but yeah, I definitely want to check out their other stuff, like their number 1, 2, 3, obviously. Yeah, but really happy with that one. Buzzed to own it. Next up, the new second latest. I'll get it right. Defy with what's this called? Theodicy. Not sure. No, it's not going to focus. Anyway, but yeah, this album, really happy to own this one. I've got an early EP from Defy, which is this one, called Hostile Blood, which I picked up secondhand in Beatdown Records. Yeah, really happy to own this one. I am aiming to get more of their CDs, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. But yeah, really happy to own this one. Great stuff. Next up, I got this at the gig, Fit for a King, Death Grip. Really happy to own this one, and I got it signed by the main vocalist. I can't remember his name, Ryan Kirby. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, really happy to own this one. It's a little bit more straight up metalcore based than the heavier style that they've been doing over the years. But anyway, next up, some new wave of British heavy metal. Yeah, what's the world coming to? Yeah, I'm not really into the style, but this album just sung out to me. Absolutely love it. This is Hell with Curse and Chapter. Absolutely amazing album. Just check out the song Dark in Hell. Dark in Hell. Yeah, excellent, excellent stuff. Next up, I got this in the other day. One of the most wanted items on my list, personally. This is Immolation with Providence EP. This EP just slays so much. It's gritty, heavy, just Immolation doing what they do there. Great follow-up to Majesty and Decay. They need to, as Ed says, they need to do a reissue of Majesty and Decay, if they remix and remaster it and whatever. But the Providence EP has to be with it, in my opinion, and his opinion. Anyway, next up, another most wanted item on my list, Catatonia with Dead End Kings, which is this one. It's going to focus. Been after this album for a long time, and you'd be surprised how hard it is to actually find this for a decent price nowadays. So, really happy to own this one, finally. And the final one for this part, we've got Crypts with Remnants of Expansion. A great release from Dark Descent last year. Really happy to own this one. Yeah, just gritty death metal. Just gloomy as hell. Alright, next up, I have the new Machine Head, Catharsis. I was going to do a review on this, but I'll just quickly point out, I think it's a really good album. I quite enjoy it. It is a bit like the Burning Red, but yeah, it's nowhere near as good as like the Blackening, for example. But it's still a good album, definitely an enjoyable release, so happy to own that. I'm moving around. Next up, Nevermore with the Obsidian Conspiracy. Yeah, this is obviously the box set edition. You open it up and you get some cards, which I'm not going to get out. A bonus disc of Shred Like Loomis exclusive play along sessions, so cool stuff that. And then obviously you get the digipack version of the album. Now this is the only Nevermore album I've actually listened to, so I definitely want to explore a little bit more into their discography. So if you've got any recommendations of which album to check out next, I have got an idea of which one it'll be, but leave some comments down below of which one I should check next. So yeah, happy with that though. Next up, another Nocturnal Mortem album. This is The Voice of Steel. So they're going to focus on this amazing artwork. Kinda. But yeah, this is obviously a special edition, which you open up like that. It's got a poster in it, but I'm not going to open that. But yeah, this album is absolutely amazing. Great album to listen to. Definitely sets up Verity very well, if you ask me. I absolutely love Verity, and this album is amazing as well. Next up, I've got a review coming to this, so actually I think it will be up before this, so link down below, but we'll see what happens. But this is of Mice and Men with Defy. Yeah, first album without Austin Carlisle on vocals, and I think it's really good personally. Really enjoyed this album. Unbreakable. I had that song on repeat for quite some time when it was released. Next up, the new Portal, which I believe is called Ion. Yeah, digipack, weird digipack, opens like that, which is really fucking weird. But yeah, yeah, really good album. I don't know if I prefer it to Vexel Void, because Vexel Void, in my opinion, is their best work, personally. But yeah, really happy to own this album, definitely. Next up, I've done a review of this, and this is one of the best of 2018. RUMAHOY with the Triumph of Piracy. Review down below. Easily the most fun album you'll hear in 2018. Next up, we've got Sarkrista, Summoners of the Serpent's Wrath, which is this album. If you're into Sar guys, you'll find something to like about these guys. Pretty similar in styles, but this album is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. I just wish I gave it more time of day last year. It's class. Absolutely love it. Next up, I got sent this to review from Black Lion Records, and the review will be coming very soon. But this is Soul Dissolution with Stardust, their new album, and spoiler, it is absolutely amazing. Beautiful, majestic, very mystical, and very melodic. Kind of reminds us in some parts of Alcest, but we'll see what. If you want to hear more, wait until my CD review comes along very soon. Now, this next album, just a funny story, because of how, just to show how stupid I am. I went to Newcastle with my girlfriend. We were just having a look around and stuff like that, and I bought this CD in HMV, and I left it on the bus on the way back, and it was going out of service, which was lucky. And I rang up the depot the same night and said, look, I've left something on the bus, can you... Oh no, I didn't ring them on the night. I spoke to a driver on another bus, and he contacted the depot and asked them to look out for it. And the next day, excuse me, next day I rang up and said, has anything been found? They had it, so I went straight down, picked it up, and this is the album that I left on the bus. Lucky I got it back. This is Urghal, Eons in Sodom. Yeah, this album is just absolutely amazing. I'm going to put it in a Super Metal recommendations and talk a little bit more about it, but just this album, just so much going for it, and the names that are on this album, I'm not going to say too much because it's going to appear in Super Metal recommendations, but yeah, this album is just amazing. Easily one of my favourite black metal albums that I've heard. Next up, we have Venom Prison with Animus Deluxe Edition with bonus live CD. These guys are getting their name out there very well, and quite rightly so. This is an amazing album. Yeah, really happy to own this. Yeah, great album. If you're into gritty hardcore with a bit of a death metal vibe in there, definitely check out Venom Prison. I reviewed this album, so check it out. This is WATAIN with Trident Wolf Eclipse, the new album, digipack. So it opens up like so, like that, and then down. So yeah. In all honesty, as I said in the review, I don't think it's the best WATAIN album, but it's still quite an enjoyable album. It's, in my opinion, just as good as the Wild Hunt, but nowhere near as good as Lawless Darkness. But yeah, really happy to own this, though. Check it out if you haven't already, and check out my review. And the final album is an album that it's been on my want list for quite a few years now, and I'm really happy to own it. I'm starting to get more of their albums, so I'm hoping to get the rest of their discography later this year, but we'll see what happens. Well, this is Winds of Plague with Against the World. Obviously a slipcase, die cut slipcase, and that's the artwork. Obviously, what's the song? California. Such a weird song, but I really, really like it. But yeah, really happy to own this one. It's a great album. I just need to pick up more Winds of Plague in the upcoming future. So yeah, that's all the purchases and updates that I've got for you so far. Make sure you check out Cottrell and Tom Collings on YouTube, link down below. All the links to all the bands that I said I was going to mention, all linked down below. As I said, I've got more content coming soon, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll see you until the next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.